Okay, I had a request to go over homework problem 7 or homework problem 4 in homework 7. And this one was really pretty challenging, so I decided I would just do a Zoom session of it. And so basically, if you watch this, I will show you how to do it, and you can just like copy it down on your homework and hopefully get 5 points on it. So the question is, how many grams of lithium are in 5 grams of lithium sulfate, and how many grams of sulfate? So this is actually a mass percent composition problem in disguise. So basically what we need to do is we need to figure out the mass percent composition of lithium and sulfate. So we have, if we look at the formula mass, so we'll just do the formula mass of the whole thing first. Lithium has a mass of 7 grams per mole, which you can find on your periodic table. I'm not going to go back and forth to that now because it's like kind of a little awkward, but you should have that there. It's 7 grams per mole, and then there's 2 of them in lithium sulfate. I'm going to erase this because it's hard to see. All right, so and then we have sulfate. Sulfur is 32 grams per mole, and then oxygen is 16 grams per mole, and there's 4 of them. And I'm going to put this all in brackets and write grams per mole so that we're emphasizing that's what this is. And when we do the math, we end up with 110 grams per mole. So that is the formula mass of the whole thing. Now we have to figure out how much of that mass, the percentage mass that's due to lithium and the percentage mass that's due to sulfate. So lithium is this part. So that's Li, and 7 times 2 is like 14 grams per mole. So that is basically the molar mass of this part of the compound. And then sulfate is this part. Now, again, this is one of these polyatomic ions, SO4. And so sulfur is S, and sulfate is this. So again, make sure you're familiar with the polyatomic ions, and also look at the periodic table to make sure that you got the name right. So even though, and obviously this is sulfate has this name because it's got sulfur in it, but it's easy to confuse these. So if this asked for a sulfur, which it could, it would be asking a completely different question, but it does not. It asks for sulfate, which is this. So after that long explanation, now we'll add this up. So this is sulfate, which is this, and it's got that bit of this compound is 96 grams per mole. So we've got 14 grams per mole and 96 grams per mole, and actually the 2 of these should and do add together to 110 grams per mole. So now that we have that, we can figure out the mass composition of each. So 14 grams per mole. So it's 14 grams per mole divided by 110 grams per mole, which is the total. And this cancels. This is a ratio, which we could convert to a percentage. That's 0.127 is essentially the fractional amount. And we could convert this to 12.7%. And I think I'm running out of room here, and this is not good about scrolling. So, but I will try my best. All right, so I think I'll move over here. So we've got 14 grams per mole, and then we've got 96. And then again, this is divided by 110. And I know that units are going to cancel, so I'm not going to bother to write them. Although it might still be a good idea just to know that they cancel. But it's 8.873. In other words, this is 87.3%. Now, if we add these together, 12.7 plus 87.3, that adds up to 100, and then 1.127 plus 0.873 adds up to 1. So basically, this is both of these represent ratios of these two things. We don't actually need to convert to percent, but I'm just kind of trying to show you that this also is a percent. But basically what we need is, now that we have this fractional ratio, so we have, I'm going to write this again over here. So erase here. Here. I'm just going to write this over here because I know it is confusing. And this is a hard one. This was definitely the most challenging. So we've got lithium. There's the fraction of it. The fraction of this that is lithium is 0.127. And we have 5 grams of it. So that's times 5 grams. And that is going to be 0.635 grams. So that's how many grams of lithium we have. And then for the sulfate, we have, again, it's over here, we have 0.873 is the fraction of that. And then it's 5 grams. So the 5 grams is a total. And we end up with 4.36 grams. And if we add these together, if we add 0.635 plus 0.4 or 4.39, we end up with about 5 grams. It's like 4.99 something, but it's about 5 grams that we end up with. So, which is what we want, because we have 5 grams total. So this is the total amount we have. Of that, 0.635 grams is lithium and 4.36 grams is sulfate. So I hope that helps, and that's all for this one.